Hey guys, what's up? Obviously little prepper lady here. And today is Saturday. It's July 6th, 2019. And finally the sun kind of went behind a cloud. It's hot out here already. It's only about 11:05 a.m. and it's already into the 80s and it's so humid. Um, I'm loving it, but at the same time, just make sure, um, I always worry about this because I'm a huge animal advocate. Um, make sure your animals, pets are in a cool place and are well hydrated. And especially when it starts to become summertime, we kind of don't think about this. What we got to be checking on our elderly, um, making sure that they're taken care of as well. A lot of people don't have the ability to get um, air conditioning and things like that. So it's important that we're keeping an eye on other individuals, spreading some humanity and, keeping an eye on our pets. But let's jump into today's topic. So this is going to can't talk today, be a compilation of all sorts of different things. So there was another earthquake last night in Southern California. This one was registered at 7.1, but they downgraded it to a 6.8. So I don't know if that was because the original readings were inaccurate or if they're just trying to not spread as much panic. Who knows? There's been a lot of more damage that has happened with this, as well as everybody's concerned about the fault lines in the area, as well as Yellowstone and all that kind of stuff. So even though I personally live, almost 3,000 miles away, and I know there's a lot of people that watch this channel that live on the East Coast, and all over the country, all over the world. Just because something isn't happening right in your backyard does not mean that we don't need to be prepared. So, with all of the recent events that have been going on, all of the weather anomalies, all of the stuff going on in the news, I'm, sitting back going, I'm not as prepared as I want to be. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that are not as prepared as they would like to be. So let's kind of discuss that. I have a video on here where I have shown my pantry and my preps and all of that kind of stuff. But going on vacation and things, I have not been able to get down into my room and do a lot of the things. Now I'm still going to the store, I'm still purchasing things, but I've gotten so bad recently, guys, with all of the stuff I've had going on. I still have stuff in my bags just sitting in my room down there. And in the back of my mind, I'm going, I don't know what I've got anymore, what I don't got. So I really need to get on top of that. And that's something that we need to stay vigilant with, especially in these kind of times, making sure that we know what we have in our preps. We have them in different locations. And that's kind of my issue as well. I don't have stuff in different locations. So I'm going to start over the next couple of weeks. And I want to give this as a piece of advice to everybody because I feel like this is going to be beneficial. I'm going to start in the next couple of weeks, take a few hours every day, or maybe just 20 minutes, half an hour every day, and start finding other places in my home that I can put small amounts of preps, whether they be in backpacks, whether they be in bags, whether they be in totes. Just make sure that I have, so underneath my bed I want to have something. So if I need to leave my house and I can't get downstairs, I can get out the window and I can take this with me. So I want to get, totes that'll go underneath my bed. And I want to have food and water, extra clothes, things like that in those totes, one for Brian and I, so we can, take it out the window, get in the car, go if we need to. Same thing with all of my kids. Now, a couple of my kids, they just have mattresses because that's the thing now. They don't want an actual bed frame. So theirs, I'm probably going to get totes or backpacks and put them in the top of their closet. Just little things like that. It's always good to store things in different areas throughout your house. Now, as far as my pantry is concerned, it is a mess right now, and my inventory is a mess, so I plan on revamping that entire system. I just don't know exactly how I want to go about it as of yet. What I originally started doing was every time I would get preps, I would be labeling them with the day that I purchased the preps. Now, all of the stuff that I bought recently, within the past month or so, is still in bags, but the receipt is in there. So I know what day that I purchased them, and that's the date that I'm going to be putting on my cans. And that's important. If you buy things, you put it in a bag and you set it aside and you don't put it into your preps labeled and things like that and inventoried, make sure you know what date you purchased them and you're not just putting today's date on there. That's going to mess up everything as far as the goodbye date and all that kind of stuff. So just make sure you're keeping that in the back of your mind as far as how to make sure that you're inventorying things properly. Also, I need to go down and check for bulging. I know it has only been 2 months, but with the weather being as crazy as it is, you know, there was a lot of rain here in New York when we left for California. So I want to make sure that nothing was damaged. I also have not had my cats down there in a while, so I need to be checking for critters, all of that kind of stuff. And these are things that we should be doing continuously. You know, every couple of weeks or so is going down, checking cans, observing the situation, and making sure that our food preps are stored and still, you know, taken care of in that aspect. Just because, you know, it hasn't reached its best by date does not mean that it couldn't potentially start to bulge, because there could have been an issue with the canning procedure or the manufacturing procedure of the item. So a lot of people, you know, go every 6 months and start rotating things out. I want to do it every couple of weeks, just to make sure that I'm staying on top of it. And anything that I have an issue with, I'm going to be, you know, getting out of my preps, writing it down, going to the store and replacing it. And that's another thing. Finances are tight for a lot of people, and I understand that. But even any little bit of stuff that you can do to add to your preps is going to be beneficial. It's going to have you better prepared, your family better prepared for any type of situation that could happen. Because we just don't know. We don't know what could happen over on the West Coast. We don't know if it could trigger a big one that's going to have an impact all the way over here on the East Coast. We just don't know. So the better prepared we are, the better we stay on top of things, the better off we're all going to be, especially people that are like-minded like us, you know, who want to be prepared for any type of a situation. So these are just kind of some things that I wanted to go over, let you know what I plan on doing. So when I do go down to my pantry, I was going to do it today, but we're literally leaving here in an hour to go to a party, and we'll be gone all day. We're doing, you know, more 4th of July stuff because it's the weekend now, and we have some family we want to go visit in a nearby town. So I didn't have the time to do it today. I'm hoping tomorrow I can at least get down there and start doing some stuff. So as I'm going through that process, I'm going to be sharing those things with you. I'll take my camera down there. I'll show you, you know, everything looks good, everything doesn't look good, this is going on, this is not going on, all of that kind of stuff, so you guys can kind of see how I'm handling making sure my pantry is inventoried and well taken care of. And that's another thing. I have stuff all over the place, and I have stuff all over the place on my computer. So I don't really know what I have versus what I don't have. So I'm essentially going to have to be starting from scratch. I'm going to revamp my whole system that I showed you on my computer for my inventory. I'm going to change some tabs, add some new tabs, color code it a little bit differently. And I'm going to go, you know, row by row by row by row as I'm checking cans, checking dates, kind of rotating things around as far as dates go. The older ones I'm going to move forward. The newer ones I'm going to push to the back, because I definitely didn't do that while I was putting things on the shelves. I just kind of wanted to get things where I wanted them and have an idea as to where I was going with that. And now it's time to start, you know, moving those things around and making sure that when the time comes, it gets put into my rotation to, you know, go upstairs and be used in our actual food. So we're not taking things with us that aren't going to be beneficial, because that's the entire point. As always, guys, always do remember, everything does happen for a reason. Whether you're having a good day or a bad day, you're in a good situation or a bad situation, just stick with it. You're on that journey for a reason. Everything's going to be okay. Also, always remember, forget about the past. There isn't anything that we can do about the past other than learn and grow and become better people from our past, and be focused on the future. But be living in the now. Be living, be loving, be laughing your lives right now, because tomorrow's not guaranteed. We all could not be here tomorrow. So it's important that we're living our lives to the fullest right now, enjoying those around us, and just enjoying life in general while we're staying focused on the future. That's all I've got for you guys today. I hope you have a great Saturday, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.